am Michelle with two L's.
And I'm Natalie, the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment, and we are here to cover Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 4.
Yes.
So we'll give our thoughts. Okay, Natalie, you start with what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was a little better, in my opinion.
I thought it was better than the last one. I agree.
I think
because stuff was actually done.
Yeah, stuff was done.
He wasn't a wussy.
It was kind of cool. I mean, it kept my attention, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there it was. But I mean, I didn't think it was bad per se.
Okay. I would say I thought this one was probably better than last week. You guys know how I felt about last week. This one was better. Of course, Obi-Wan's kind of beginning to get his groove back a little bit.
He is, yeah.
He's starting to get back in the flow of things. I think for me with this series right now, it's like I woke up and there was no excitement for me to go watch the next episode of Obi-Wan. And I just didn't really feel I would be at that place ever. But yet here we are. Because with The Mandalorian even, I was always excited for Friday to roll around.
True.
And to watch The Mandalorian.
You've got a valid point, because it's not like I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, like, oh, Kenobi comes out today.
Right.
Like, I don't feel that way at all. And I watched it and it was like, oh, I mean, here's a genuine how I felt. It was better than last week. You know, it's kind of like that.
It's kind of like meh.
Yeah, it wasn't like anything that super excited me, but it was a little bit better than last week, which you guys know last week, I might have had a little bit of a rant of how I felt about how the end of that episode went.
Feelings were had.
So I'm not there, but I'm kind of quickly getting to a place that if you're Lucasfilm, you don't want a fan like me to get to, and that's the place of indifference.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of feels a lot of fans that I see and have talked to are beginning to get to, like a place of just like, oh, there's a new episode of Obi-Wan out. Might as well check it out, I guess. Got nothing else to watch today.
I've got the next 30 minutes free. Why not?
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was today with it. And again, I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's one of my, if not my favorite Jedi. I love Ewan McGregor as him, and he's great in every episode. He's a bright spot in every episode. I just, again, and I know I've said this again, it's going to get repetitive, and I'll probably say it again in the next 2 episodes. This script should have been, well, I mean, totally redone, but very very neat and tight to make like a movie, instead of just feeling like we kind of have
like filling in
space is kind of what, like, I know stuff happened in this one, but even some in this episode felt like we're just filling in space to get to a showdown with him and Vader.
Right.
That's kind of what, and it shouldn't really feel that way. Just like I know, and just to bring it up because we've just covered it, Stranger Things, even in setup episodes, a lot happens.
Yes.
And like character development happens, and the plot is furthered, and and
the plot thickens.
The plot thickens even, yes. You just feel like more happens in a good way.
Right.
Where this, it feels like they're kind of just trying to fill in space to get somewhere. And not near as bad as I felt Book of Boba Fett did.
That was
That was bad.
Legendary.
But there's still a little bit of it here to me. And yeah, that's kind of where I am with it today. Again,
Michelle, you seem kind of like you're at a loss for words right now.
Well, I think I've just never expected to feel this way about Obi-Wan.
You're just like, I'm trying to try.
I'm trying to not feel the way I feel, but it's how I feel.
You're feeling kind of blah inside.
I feel, like
about the show.
I'm starting to feel indifferent. Yeah.
You're about to forget it exists.
Yeah, and they say that they
like the Taylor Swift song. Like I forgot that you existed.
The opposite of love is actually indifference.
It's true.
And that's kind of where we're getting. But Natalie, I think you had some positives that you thought. And I will say, I think an actress who stands out to me, and I've said this before, who I think's done a good job, is that female actress that's working with Obi-Wan.
She's done a good job.
She's done a good job of playing that Imperial type of role.
Like you said last week, I think like she's believable.
She's very believable to have been working with the Empire for years.
Yeah, I mean she does good. Let's see, positives.
It was a sweet moment at the very end with Kenobi and Leia. It was sweet.
It was very sweet. It was really sweet, I thought.
But then that leads to another negative for me because
and her hand is also the size of like a 4-year-old's. I know you all told us in the
it is
comments
tiny. It
that-
is tiny.
I know she's supposed to be 10, but she's really looking 4 to 5.
She's pretty small. Yeah, she's looking small. I will have to say, I think there came a point even in this episode, again, the writing, I just have some issues with. It's not even the acting that I have issues with. It's more the writing of the story. And I think there's times even like say, okay, so they were going to, guys, Leia is awesome. Leia's one of my most beloved characters. But to believe that this tiny 10-year-old was not going to squeal, but going to be tortured, I really can't buy that. Even if it's Leia.
It is a little hard. We need to know her character for longer, or like, for that to possibly be believable.
I mean, even Grogu, had they just given him like a little knob that he could play with, he probably would have told on everybody
Right.
if he could speak. But I
Or
mean,
a cookie, a
like,
macaroon.
like my point is that was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow.
Because I thought she was gonna kill her. I thought Reva was gonna kill her. I thought when that thing was coming at her head, it had laser beams.
Natalie, but how could
It was gonna go.
but how could Leia die?
Well, I knew she was gonna be saved, but do you see what I'm saying?
You thought she was willing to kill her.
I didn't think it was just torture. I thought she was gonna kill her, and it was like, dang, you're gonna murder a child?
Yeah.
Like, this is intense. Because it was almost like it seemed like Reva, like almost like she didn't really want it to come to that. So that's why I thought the
But
stakes.
she's like, but now you must die.
Yeah, like anybody that doesn't agree with the Empire, like she said, or whatever. But yeah, I guess it was not that it's just torture. That's pretty bad, but
well, and even just some of the scenes, I think there's been too much and this is not a slight on the actress who plays Leia. It's not at all. I think there's been too much into that. I don't know. I just don't think, again, if they were writing this in a movie, and even if you put a young Leia in, I think she shouldn't have so much dialogue.
yeah,
You should use her very sparingly.
right. That's what like kind of worked in, just woven in a little more than so much, which I think, let us know in the comments. Do you enjoy Leia being on screen as much as she has been, or you kind of ready for her not to be as much?
Because I think it would have fit into canon better if I could even buy Obi-Wan saving Leia. I really can. But I think it would fit into canon better if they didn't have so much time together.
Yeah.
Like she just kind of barely gets to know this man, maybe at the end. I don't know. That's just kind of my take on that. There's still just too much in this series, and that's kind of become a thing, whether it's Marvel or Star Wars, that feels, guys, there's a difference between family friendly, which Star Wars always was, family friendly,
and
hold on, and kid friendly. And sometimes this show feels like your target audience is like 4 to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, that and the word like generic comes to mind.
Generic, yes.
And I don't mean to be way harsh, but it sometimes the Disney show, it's a very generic,
kind of like how Marvel
show.
can feel.
Yeah,
a
Marvel,
lot.
exactly. That's a good example.
Yeah, and Star Wars shouldn't feel generic.
No.
It should feel special.
It should feel authentic.
Yeah, authentic and special, not generic. And something else I want to say.
I'm not saying not all of it, not The Mandalorian, not everything, not every episode. Just sometimes it does kind of give that.
And something too, I know, okay, what's one of the things that made Star Wars special? Music. John Williams' score. It was a space opera. And we've yet to even hear the Imperial March when Vader walks in. Like, why are we not utilizing the power of music?
Like, and the gifts you already have.
Yes, like you could use music to almost manipulate us to think it's better than it is.
It's true. Music will do that.
But when you're not using the music John Williams has already made for this, John Williams music should be in the story. It just should be. There should be the Imperial March. There should be that type. I know he wrote the new theme for Obi-Wan. Why is Obi-Wan's theme not in my head the way Mando's theme is in my head? Because they barely play it. Like, I don't even really know it. I can't even recognize, except the very beginning when they do the intro, what the music is.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a missed opportunity. Music's
pretty important.
It's a big deal
in a lot of things.
It's a big deal in movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what made even Mando's intro into Boba Fett, like you heard no, 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 no. You hear his theme music,
and
you're like, yes!
You know, and then that's like associated in your brain with, yes, I love that sound.
Exactly.
So sounds are important.
Yes, and I think that's a missed opportunity. Again, we've yet to hear the Imperial March with Vader marching in, or anything that would provoke those emotions that we've had for years.
Right.
Which is a missed opportunity in this situation. Which leads to what you're saying, kind of a generic feel. Yeah, because Star Wars is so known for having such great music. They're scored so well.
A little sterile.
Yeah, like so that's kind of my feelings. I know I've been kind of negative today.
I feel like this started out like a regular review, and then it kind of went into a rant yet again.
Well, that's what they're leading me to do thus far. And again, I think
she's turning to the dark side, guys. We need this to turn around.
Well, I think it's kind of like, I think it's showing me that how much I do love Obi-Wan. It's like I'm having like a Last Jedi situation with the show, because it's just, he deserved a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, good gosh, you got Obi-Wan and Vader. This should be epic. This should be what everyone is talking about. And yet it trends still below Stranger Things, and not even really trends much.
Right.
Which is sad. As a Star Wars fan, that's sad to me at this point.
It is, yeah, because it should be a big deal.
This should be a very big deal, and it doesn't feel like a big deal. And that's just again, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. It's kind of how I feel. And again, I actually did think this episode was better, and maybe the last two are a lot better.
Right, that's true. We keep saying that.
That maybe they are. Maybe
they are.
Maybe it leads to truly an epic finale. It's just, I think they could have written this so much better.
Yeah.
And if you're enjoying it, that's great. But they could have done it in a way that everyone enjoyed it much more. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's my thought. Anything else that stood out to you, or you want to say?
Did you enjoy the Force choke that was in this episode?
Yeah, but even that somehow didn't feel like it was in the movies. It felt, I don't know. There's still some cheapness that bothers me in this.
Yeah, like it could have been done a little bit better. I see what you're saying. Like it was kind of cool, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm trying to be positive.
And it's like somehow you've made me go into another negative. That's somehow they've made Vader, even though they had him like choke people and stuff, he doesn't feel as imposing as he normally does.
Right.
I can't express that other than that. Like there's something missing about his presence, like not being as imposing and powerful and frightening as it usually is.
Like I think, the infamous scene at the end of Rogue One.
Yeah.
Like
See, Disney did a good job there.
Like I know it was just a quick thing, but they got that.
Yes.
Like, if anything, it was like, dang, he's like more intimidating than I remember, like from the originals.
Yeah.
So they did a good job on that.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, I think you're saying a little more of that.
Yes, exactly. Like really make him truly frightening, like where you feel his presence in the room. You should always feel Vader's presence.
You should feel it in the Force.
Well, you should just feel it in general.
It's a strong presence.
His presence, it just radiates throughout the rooms. It's a strong, yeah. And there's something about his dialogue. Like it's like they can't even write him right, because Vader is like almost funny at times. Like without meaning, like he's as stupid as he is clumsy.
I love that Vader humor.
He has like a humor to him in a way, and they've totally missed that. That's been totally omitted in every line that he's had, or even Rogue One. I really like the line, "Careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director Krennic," as he chokes them. Like that was Vader.
Like he's kind of known for that. Like those great one-liners,
He is.
But just like to kind of say something, I don't know. It's his style, but yeah, very intimidating, but a sense of comedy to it.
Yes.
I mean, not that they're supposed to be. I don't know, but it worked. It's in a way. It's his.
It's just Vader.
Yeah,
it's just who
Vader.
He is at this point.
I'm saying it's a positive.
And again, I'm trying to even compare Disney. I feel Rogue One got that a lot better than what I'm getting in this. It's like his lines are flat.
Yeah.
So again, that's a writing issue. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. At this point, I'm starting to lose a little hope. But we'll see.
Come on, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope.
Well,
and you're letting us down.
No, Obi-Wan's not let us down. That writing team's letting us down.
That's true. He's doing his part. He's doing his part.
He's trying here.
He is.
But yeah, that's our thoughts, guys. What did you think? Some of you will think I'm too harsh, but whatever. Some of you will agree and think I'm not harsh enough. That's YouTube for you.
You can't please everybody.
But share your thoughts below. And if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give the video a thumbs up. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye guys.